The city bustled around Sarah, a blur of hurried footsteps and indifferent faces. Each day was a struggle, a constant search for food and a safe place to rest her head. Her worn clothes and tired eyes told a story of hardship, a story many chose to ignore. But beneath the surface of her difficult circumstances lay a heart of gold, a wellspring of kindness that refused to be extinguished by the harsh realities of her life. She knew the rhythms of the park, the best spots to find discarded food, the quiet corners where she could find a moment's peace. Today, however, the familiar sounds were disrupted by a new one, the heart-wrenching sobs of a child. Sarah's head turned, her attention immediately drawn to the source of the distress. A small boy, no older than 7, stood alone near the fountain, tears streaming down his face. He looked utterly lost and vulnerable. Timmy's small frame trembled with each sob. He clutched a worn teddy bear tightly, its fur matted from years of love and countless adventures. Just moments ago, he'd been happily chasing pigeons with his dad, John. One minute John was there, snapping a photo, and the next he was gone. The park, once a place of joy, now felt vast and scary. He called out, "Daddy," but only the wind answered. Panic swelled in his chest. He didn't know what to do, where to go. Everything looked different, unfamiliar. The laughter of other children seemed distant and mocking. He just wanted his dad. The teddy bear offered little comfort against the overwhelming fear that gripped him. Lost and alone, Timmy felt a tear trickle down, and then another, turning into a river of sadness. Sarah hesitated only for a moment. She knew what it felt like to be lost and alone, even in a crowd. The boy's distress was a mirror reflecting her own past pain. Carefully, she approached him, her steps slow and deliberate so as not to frighten him further. She knelt down, bringing herself to his eye level. Her voice, though raspy from years of disuse and exposure to the elements, was gentle. "Hey there, little one," she said softly. "Are you okay? You seem a bit lost." She kept her distance, respecting his personal space. Her hands, calloused and weathered, remained open and visible, a silent reassurance that she meant no harm. She offered him a small, comforting smile, hoping to ease his fear, even just a little. She knew a friendly face could make all the difference. Timmy sniffled, clutching his teddy bear even tighter. He looked at Sarah with wide, tear-filled eyes. He was scared of strangers, but something about her gentle voice and kind face made him feel a little less afraid. I can't find my daddy," he stammered, his voice thick with tears. Sarah's heart ached for him. She reached into her worn bag and pulled out a small, slightly squashed apple, her lunch for the day. "Here you go, sweetie," she offered. "Maybe this will help you feel a little better." She broke off a piece and handed it to him. "My name is Sarah. What's yours?" She waited patiently, allowing him to respond in his own time, offering a moment of comfort amidst his fear. She knew a small gesture could mean everything. Unbeknownst to Sarah and Timmy, John was frantically searching for his son. He retraced his steps, his heart pounding with each passing second. He'd only looked away for a moment, distracted by a phone call. Now his world was crumbling. From behind a large oak tree, he spotted them. He recognized Timmy's bright blue jacket and the familiar worn teddy bear. Relief washed over him, but it was quickly replaced by curiosity. He watched as Sarah knelt beside Timmy, her face etched with concern. He couldn't hear what they were saying, but he could see the genuine kindness in her eyes, the gentle way she offered Timmy a piece of her apple. He held back, wanting to observe the situation before intervening, a knot forming in his stomach. He had to be sure Timmy was safe. John watched, mesmerized. He was a man used to power, to control, to solving problems with money. Yet, here was Sarah, offering Timmy something far more valuable than any material possession. Compassion. Her selfless act struck a chord deep within him. He couldn't help but compare her simple act of kindness to the often complicated and sometimes superficial relationships in his own life. He saw the genuine warmth in her smile as Timmy tentatively took a bite of the apple. It was a small moment, but it spoke volumes. He started to question his own life choices and the values he was instilling in his son. Was he teaching Timmy the importance of human connection, of empathy, of looking beyond appearances? He wasn't so sure anymore. A wave of guilt washed over him. Taking a deep breath, John stepped out from behind the tree. "Timmy!" he called out, his voice filled with relief. Timmy's head snapped up, his eyes widening as he recognized his father. He scrambled to his feet and ran towards John, teddy bear clutched tightly in his hand. John knelt down and embraced Timmy tightly, burying his face in his son's hair. "I was so worried," he whispered. After a moment, he stood up, holding Timmy's hand. He turned to Sarah, his expression sincere. "Thank you," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "Thank you for helping my son. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't been here." He extended his hand towards her, a gesture of genuine gratitude. "I'm John, and this is Timmy." He wanted her to know how much her kindness meant to him. Sarah, surprised by John's heartfelt gratitude, simply nodded. "He's a sweet boy," she said, her voice still gentle. She noticed the expensive suit John was wearing, the expensive watch on his wrist. The contrast between his appearance and her own was stark. She was used to being overlooked, dismissed. John, sensing her discomfort, didn't want the encounter to end there. "Sarah," he began, "is there anything I can do to repay you for your kindness?" He hesitated, wanting to be respectful. He glanced at her worn clothes, her bare hands. "I couldn't help but notice. Are you doing okay?" He hoped she wouldn't be offended by his question, but he genuinely wanted to understand her situation and offer assistance. He felt compelled to help, to give back in some way. Sarah hesitated, unsure how to answer. She wasn't used to people caring, let alone offering help. "Well," she began slowly, "I'm between homes at the moment." She didn't want to burden him with her life story, but she also didn't want to lie. John listened intently, his gaze unwavering. "And before all of this," he prompted gently, "what did you do? What are your dreams, Sarah?" He wanted to know the person behind the hardship, the woman who had shown such extraordinary kindness to his son. He wanted to understand her hopes and aspirations, not just her present circumstances. He truly believed everyone deserved a chance. He wanted to be that chance for her. "What do you dream of doing?" he pressed. A flicker of surprise crossed Sarah's face. She hadn't expected such a personal question. "I used to work with children," she said softly. "I volunteered at a local community center, helping with after-school programs." A wistful smile touched her lips. "I loved it. I always dreamed of opening my own daycare someday." John's eyes lit up. "That's wonderful, Sarah," he said, genuinely impressed. An idea sparked in his mind. "I know this might sound a little unconventional, but I have an offer for you. I run a large company, and we're always looking for good people. I see something special in you, Sarah, a kindness, a patience. I'd like to offer you a job." He paused, letting his words sink in. It wouldn't be working with children directly at first, but it would be a stable income, a chance to get back on your feet. Sarah was stunned. A job? It seemed too good to be true. Years of hardship had taught her to be wary of promises. I don't know what to say," she stammered, overwhelmed by the unexpected offer. "I don't have any fancy qualifications. I haven't even had a proper shower in days." John smiled gently. "Sarah, your qualifications are your character. I'm not looking for a resume. I'm looking for someone with a good heart." He pulled out a business card. "Think about it. There's my number. Call me if you're interested." He paused, giving her time to process. "I understand if you're hesitant, but I truly believe you deserve this chance." He knew it was a risk, but he trusted his instincts. After a moment of contemplation, Sarah nodded slowly, a glimmer of hope in her eyes. "Okay," she whispered. "Okay, I'll call you." The next morning, after a long night of deliberation, Sarah found herself standing in front of John's company headquarters. It was a towering skyscraper, a symbol of success and wealth that seemed worlds away from her own reality. Taking a deep breath, She walked inside, clutching John's business card like a lifeline. She started in the mailroom, sorting packages and delivering documents. It wasn't glamorous, but it was a start. She arrived early and stayed late, eager to prove herself. She was meticulous and organized, quickly mastering the tasks assigned to her. Her innate kindness shone through in her interactions with her colleagues, who were initially wary but soon warmed to her genuine and helpful nature. She was determined to make the most of this opportunity. John watched from afar, impressed by her dedication and work ethic. He knew he had made the right decision. With each paycheck, Sarah's life began to transform. The first thing she did was find a small, affordable apartment. It wasn't much, but it was safe, clean, and hers. The simple act of having a warm shower and a comfortable bed was a luxury she hadn't experienced in years. She bought herself some new clothes, replacing her worn and tattered ones with simple but presentable outfits. She started eating regular meals, regaining her strength and vitality. The constant gnawing hunger that had been her companion for so long finally subsided. She felt like a new person, reborn. The weight of homelessness began to lift, replaced by a sense of hope and possibility. She started to smile more, her eyes regaining their sparkle. She was finally getting her life back, one small step at a time. She started saving, dreaming of that daycare again. Inspired by Sarah's resilience and the profound impact of her simple act of kindness, John decided to use his wealth to make a difference in the lives of others facing similar struggles. He established a foundation dedicated to providing resources and support to homeless individuals, focusing on job training, affordable housing, and access to essential services. He named the foundation Second Chances, a testament to Sarah's story and his belief that everyone deserves an opportunity to rebuild their lives. He poured his energy and resources into the foundation, determined to create a lasting impact on the community. He visited homeless shelters, listened to people's stories, and worked tirelessly to develop programs that addressed their specific needs. He wanted to create real change, not just write a check. He knew Sarah had shown him the way. As Sarah's confidence grew, so did her desire to give back. She began volunteering at the Second Chances Foundation, sharing her own experiences with others who were struggling with homelessness. Her story resonated deeply with those she met, offering them hope and inspiration. She spoke at community events, sharing her journey from homelessness to stability, emphasizing the importance of kindness, compassion, and second chances. Her genuine warmth and authenticity captivated audiences, challenging their preconceived notions about homelessness. She became a powerful voice for the voiceless, advocating for policies and programs that supported those in need. She was no longer just a survivor. She was a beacon of hope, lighting the way for others to find their path out of darkness. She showed them anything was possible. Over time, Sarah and John's relationship evolved from employer and employee to a deep and abiding friendship. They shared a mutual respect for each other's values and a commitment to making a positive impact on the world. John valued Sarah's insights and perspective, often seeking her advice on matters related to the foundation and even his business. He admired her unwavering integrity and her ability to connect with people from all walks of life. Sarah, in turn, appreciated John's generosity and his willingness to use his resources to help others. She saw beyond his wealth and recognized the genuine goodness in his heart. They were an unlikely pair, but their shared values and mutual admiration created a bond that transcended their different backgrounds and circumstances. They learned so much from each other. Flashback years ago, John wasn't a billionaire. He was a young man, fresh out of college, with big dreams and very little money. His parents had passed away when he was a teenager, leaving him to fend for himself. He struggled to make ends meet, working multiple jobs while trying to launch his own business. He faced countless rejections, setbacks, and moments of despair. He knew what it felt like to be hungry, to be afraid, to feel like no one cared. He remembers sleeping on park benches himself when he first arrived in the city. A kind woman, much like Sarah, had offered him a warm meal and a word of encouragement, a small act of kindness that had given him the strength to keep going. He never forgot her. That memory fueled his desire to help others, to pay it forward. His past informed his present. Sarah's unique perspective, shaped by her lived experiences, proved invaluable to the Second Chances Foundation. She identified gaps in their programs and proposed innovative solutions. She advocated for more personalized support, recognizing that each individual's journey out of homelessness was unique. She championed the importance of mental health services, recognizing the trauma and emotional challenges faced by many. She helped to create a peer support program, connecting individuals with mentors who had successfully navigated their own paths out of homelessness. She implemented training programs designed to teach essential life skills, such as budgeting, cooking, and job searching. Her insights transformed the foundation, making it more effective and responsive to the needs of the community it served. She knew what truly helped. Not everyone was as supportive of Sarah's growing influence. A board member, Mr. Henderson, a wealthy businessman with a traditional mindset, questioned her qualifications during a meeting. "With all due respect, John," he said, his tone condescending, "Miss Sarah doesn't have the formal education or experience typically required for such a prominent role in the foundation. Are we sure she's the right person to be making these decisions?" Sarah felt a familiar pang of insecurity. She knew she lacked the credentials that Mr. Henderson valued, but she also knew that her contributions had been invaluable. She braced herself for John's response, unsure of what he would say. She understood this was the world of wealth and power, one she was still learning to navigate. John's eyes flashed with anger. He wouldn't allow anyone to diminish Sarah's contributions. "Mr. Henderson," he said firmly, his voice leaving no room for argument, "Sarah's qualifications are not found on a piece of paper. They are etched in her character, in her compassion, in her unwavering commitment to helping others." He continued, "She has lived the experiences that these people are going through. She understands their struggles, their fears, their hopes in a way that none of us can." He gestured towards Sarah. "Her insights have transformed this foundation, making it more effective and more compassionate. I trust her judgment implicitly. Her lived experience is her qualification, and it's more valuable than any degree." He silenced the room with his conviction. He would always defend her. Determined to further raise awareness and challenge the stigma surrounding homelessness, Sarah spearheaded the organization of a large community event. She envisioned a day filled with educational booths, personal testimonies, and opportunities for people to connect with and support local organizations working to combat homelessness. She worked tirelessly, coordinating volunteers, securing donations, and promoting the event throughout the community. She wanted to create a space where people could learn about the root causes of homelessness, hear the stories of those who had experienced it firsthand, and discover ways to get involved. She believed that education and empathy were the keys to creating lasting change. She hoped the event would spark a conversation and inspire action. She wanted the community to see the humanity in every person, regardless of their circumstances. Years passed. Timmy grew into a kind and compassionate young man. He never forgot the day he got lost in the park and the kindness Sarah had shown him. He remembered her gentle voice, her comforting smile, and the shared piece of apple. As he got older, he learned about Sarah's journey and the incredible work she was doing with the Second Chances Foundation. Inspired by her example, he began volunteering at the foundation, helping with various tasks, from sorting donations to tutoring children. He wanted to give back and make a difference in the lives of others, just as Sarah had done for him. He saw her as a hero, a role model, a symbol of hope. He felt lucky to have her in his life. He wanted to make her proud. Sarah's tireless work and unwavering dedication did not go unnoticed. She was nominated for and ultimately received a prestigious award for her humanitarian work, recognizing her extraordinary contributions to the community and her unwavering commitment to helping the homeless. The award ceremony was a grand affair, attended by community leaders, philanthropists, and individuals whose lives had been touched by Sarah's kindness. As she stood on the stage, accepting the award, she felt a surge of gratitude and humility. She thought back to her days of homelessness, the struggles she had faced, and the kindness that had changed her life. She dedicated the award to all those who were still struggling, promising to continue fighting for them. She was a symbol of hope and resilience, and inspiration to all. Watching Sarah receive the award, John felt an overwhelming sense of pride and gratitude. He realized how profoundly she had changed his life and his perspective. Before meeting Sarah, his world had been defined by wealth, power, and success. He had been focused on building his empire, often at the expense of his personal relationships and his own well-being. Sarah had shown him the importance of compassion, empathy, and human connection. She had taught him that true success wasn't measured in dollars and cents, but in the positive impact you had on the lives of others. He had learned more from her than he could ever have imagined. He was a better father, a better friend, and a better person because of her. He was eternally grateful for that chance encounter in the park. A local news station, inspired by Sarah's award and her incredible journey, decided to feature her story in a primetime segment. The segment highlighted her act of kindness towards Timmy, her transformation from homelessness to advocate, and her invaluable contributions to the Second Chances Foundation. The response from the community was overwhelming. People were moved by her story, inspired by her resilience, and eager to support her cause. Donations poured into the foundation, and volunteers flocked to offer their time and skills. The segment sparked a renewed sense of hope and compassion throughout the community, demonstrating the power of one person's kindness to inspire positive change. People saw that even the smallest act of compassion could have ripple effects. Sarah's story became a reminder that everyone has the potential to make a difference. With her newfound platform, Sarah seized the opportunity to advocate for systemic changes to address the root causes of homelessness. She spoke passionately about the need for affordable housing, access to quality healthcare, and job training programs that provided individuals with the skills they needed to succeed. She met with local politicians, urging them to prioritize policies that supported vulnerable populations. She testified before government committees, sharing her personal experiences and offering concrete solutions. She challenged the status quo, demanding that society address the systemic inequalities that perpetuated homelessness. She was determined to create a more just and equitable world, where everyone had the opportunity to thrive. She wanted to ensure that no one else had to endure the hardships she had faced. She fought for long-term solutions, not just temporary fixes. Recognizing the importance of Sarah's voice and her potential to create even greater change, John provided her with further resources to expand her reach and impact. He established a dedicated fund within the Second Chances Foundation to support her advocacy efforts, providing her with the staff, technology, and travel budget she needed to effectively communicate her message. He also connected her with influential leaders and policymakers, opening doors that she never could have imagined. He knew that her passion and her lived experience were powerful assets, and he wanted to ensure that she had every opportunity to use them to their fullest potential. He believed in her vision and her ability to inspire others to action. He was committed to supporting her in every way possible. He wanted to help her change the world. Beyond her advocacy work, Sarah found great fulfillment in mentoring other individuals who had experienced homelessness. She provided them with guidance, support, and encouragement, sharing her own story to inspire them to believe in themselves and their potential. She helped them navigate the challenges of finding housing, securing employment, and rebuilding their lives. She offered them a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, and a reminder that they were not alone. She empowered them to become self-sufficient and to advocate for their own needs. She saw her role as more than just a mentor. She was a friend, a confidant, and a beacon of hope. She wanted to empower them to reclaim their lives and achieve their dreams. She showed them how to turn their struggles into strength. Driven by their shared commitment to addressing the affordable housing crisis, Sarah and John decided to collaborate on a project to build a new affordable housing complex. They pooled their resources, expertise, and connections to bring the project to fruition. Sarah worked closely with architects and designers to create a space that was not only affordable but also safe, comfortable, and conducive to community building. She incorporated features such as community gardens, shared spaces, and on-site social services to support residents in their journey towards self-sufficiency. John leveraged his business acumen and his network of contacts to secure funding, navigate regulatory hurdles, and ensure the project was completed efficiently and effectively. They were a powerful team, combining their unique strengths to create lasting change. They wanted to create a home, not just a building. Years later, at the grand opening of the affordable housing complex, Sarah, John, and a now-grown Timmy stood together, beaming with pride. The complex was a beautiful testament to their shared vision and their unwavering commitment to helping others. They watched as families moved into their new homes, their faces filled with hope and gratitude. Timmy, now a young adult, volunteered his time to help the residents settle in. Remembering the kindness Sarah had shown him so many years ago, John looked at Sarah, his heart filled with love and admiration. He knew that their chance encounter in the park had changed his life forever. Sarah smiled, knowing that their journey had just begun. She saw the possibilities for a better future. The little boy, the apple, it all led to this. This story is a testament to the extraordinary power of kindness, second chances, and human connection. It demonstrates how a single act of compassion can have ripple effects, transforming individual lives and entire communities. It highlights the importance of looking beyond appearances and recognizing the inherent worth and potential in every person, regardless of their circumstances. It underscores the value of empathy, understanding, and a willingness to help those in need. It reminds us that even the smallest act of kindness can make a world of difference. It celebrates the power of second chances, showing that anyone can overcome adversity and achieve their dreams with the right support and encouragement. Ultimately, it's a story about hope, resilience, and the transformative power of human connection, reminding us that we are all interconnected and that by helping each other, we can create a better world for all.